Thank you, Shamini. So with that line of the proceedings, we have something up next that is of immense value to the society. This is a felicitation of 75 years of being a PSSL member, and that is our own patron, Mr. Joe de Livera. May I please invite Romesh to take on the proceedings of that felicitation now.
Okay, thank you, Inoka. I hope my audio is clear. As she says, this year marks a very unique and a special occasion for PSSL. And we have with us Mr. Joe de Livera, who has been associated with the society for 75 years, having joined the society in 1946 as a schoolboy. So a very warm welcome, Mr. de Livera, patron of PSSL and honorary life member. 75 years as a member. I think it, let alone at PSSL, I'm quite sure that this must be some sort of a world record that should be checked with the Guinness Book of Records. Am I right, sir?
Yeah, I wasn't aware that I had been a member for 75 years. It's a long time. But there it is.
I know. There it is. So you joined the society as a schoolboy in 1946, am I right?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
1946. So how did that happen, if you can recall?
It just started by being interested. Yeah, at that time I was depending on Chitra Photo, Bertie Veeravodana, to develop and enlarge my 35. No, at that time it was 12 quarter by 12 quarter photographs.
You had a Rolleiflex at that time, did you?
Yeah. And that was very messy, you know. It's a type of thing that you have to carry around, and you know, it's not as convenient as a 35. But when I started my 35, I decided to have my own dark room at home. That is in Stafford Place, which belonged to my late father. And it went on from there. And yeah, once I really got into it, I was virtually sold on the intricacies of using a 35 mil
camera.
And yeah, it was clearly the Leica that put me on to the 35 mil. And it was nice to be able to do something that at that time was really unusual, which was to show a camera which was so small in its eventual film size.
Quite a
and from then on, of course, I had so many of my friends, that is included, who would, I mean, we'd been together on many photographic excursions, where I had, at 21 years, I was given a gift of a Riley 2.5-liter car by my father. And he and I, Dudley and I, used to go around the areas around where the parliament is right now. And we had a bit of a time. There's an instance when he was so enamored of the photographic scene that we had captured earlier on during the day, that he stayed over for dinner at Rendlesham, which was the house where I lived and where I had the dark room. And he actually stayed with me right up into the early hours of the morning, 2 or 3 o'clock, till I had enlarged some of his photos. It was rather fun.
It's amazing.
Yeah, amazing.
So both of you used a Leica. He also had a Leica 3 like you?
He saw me using the Leica when he saw me at Titus Stores. And he really came there because he wanted to buy a vacuum jar, which we were marketing at that time, this sort of bell-shaped jar, which you pump out the air, and that keeps the fungus away from lenses.
All right.
And it was rather fun. And I might also mention that his dad, D.S. Sardaika, and I used to ride on horseback on golfers. Green.
Right.
Amazing. They used to
Yes,
call me Sana, and never forget. And you know, it was a pity that he died because he was not really sitting himself in the saddle as he should, you know, with his knees towards the ribs of the horse. He used to ride with his legs akimbo, and he paid the final price, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But
I recall you mentioning that you were there on that particular day, isn't it? And what happened?
No, that was the day that he fell off the horse.
Yeah.
But I was there a few days before because I didn't used to go daily. But the reports that I had was that a lorry backfired somewhere near the Colombo Club, which is now the
Taj Samudra.
You know, I mean, there's some words which don't click as they should always.
Yeah, now it's the Taj Samudra.
Is the price of age, and but so far I'm reasonably fit, except for a lack of my sense of balance, which has been bugging me for about 6 months. But I've so far been avoiding any major injury. But there it is. I don't go to office anymore.
Okay. Mr. De Livera, just if you can recall, you told me once that you all used to meet. You joined the society actually just 1 year after Lionel Wynn's death.
Correct.
And you recall meeting at Lionel Wynn's house before the memorial was built.
Yeah.
And that you were also instrumental in some design work of the current studio that the PSSL is using. Am I right?
Obvious, yeah. I mean, those windows on top, for their existence to be, you know, there's a long line of windows. At that time, there was no air conditioning. So it was all a matter of convectional ventilation. And I was responsible for designing and implementing the methodologies, in other words, to be able to open the windows from the corridor.
Right. I think the windows are still there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, so that's great. I mean, you've still been with us and you've been a great friend of the society. You've stepped up when we needed you in all occasions, and that is wonderful. So before we close off, tell us something about your family. I think one of your sons is managing Titus stores. And what about Rohan? What is he doing these days?
Rohan was into music from his very young years. And I was hoping that he will make the grade. And he did about a month ago, I think a little, probably, yes, a few weeks ago. And his music was is even now being played on Singapore Airlines flights. And amazing, I'm very, very happy because it really was instrumental in projecting him into the composer's world, after which he's having a number of very big names, both in the States and in England, where he lives. He lives in Nottingham, inquiring,
about
to
his
contract
work.
him for his music.
Right. Okay. So that's great. So that is Rohan de Livera. So that's great. So thank you, Mr. de Livera, for once again for taking the time and joining this meeting. And on behalf of the society, we wish you very well, sir. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Okay. Over to you, Inoka.
Thank you, Romesh, and thank you very much, Mr. de Livera, for being here today. Congratulations on behalf of the society for your patronage, as well as the long years you've been with the society, and we wish you nothing but good health. And we are extremely proud to have had you here today.